Hi, Consor here with another non-gaming related video. Because I feel I need to rant about the state of Sweden that has been in the press lately. It's a rough recording because I don't have time or energy to do it properly, so bear with me. I'm fairly sure you have heard Trump mentioning Sweden a few days ago in a speech after watching a news segment from Fox News. The Swedish press, politicians and ignorant public kicked up a shitstorm calling Trump a liar. Someone thought he had smoked something and was high as fucking drugs. But the funny thing is that Fox News segment mentioned a suburb called Rinkeby. And Rinkeby is a heavily segregated area with high unemployment, and it's a high crime area, and that is very common in many cities in Sweden that they are having suburbs like this. Because the Swedish governments, both on the left and center right, for the last couple of them, have had no long-term plans whatsoever to deal with refugees and economical migrants, because everyone that has been arriving in Sweden for the last 10 years have not been refugees. A lot of them have been economic migrants. Get a bit off topic, but Rinkeby. Last night, on Monday 20th, Rinkeby, that's one of the suburbs that politicians and media claim is super peaceful, crime-free, and women are not oppressed by radical Muslims. But yesterday there was a huge riot with several cars burning, journalists attacked, beaten, kicked, and robbed. Along with the several burning cars, several stores were looted. And all this kicked off after the police was in the process of arresting a wanted suspect. The 3 police officers that was attacked by a mob of 30 throwing rocks at the police, and the police felt so threatened they had to fire. One of the police officer fired his weapon. First it was claimed it was a warning shot where he shooting fire in there, but later reports it said it was meant as a direct fire shooting against one of the aggressors in the mob. But it looks like someone needs to get back to some weapons training because he can't aim for shit. The police decided to retreat, to regroup and call for reinforcements, and this left the mob free to riot. The fire department that was called to put out the car fires refused to enter the area without police escort, and this is a common practice in these segregated suburbs, to light things on fire to get the police and most notably the fire department in there to fight the fire. But these people in these segregated areas attack the firefighters. Even paramedics get attacked when they're doing their job, because in these people's eyes that live in these segregated suburbs, these occupations they see them as a part of the system that these people hate and feel oppressed by. And Sweden is in trouble here. It's no doubt about it, and the facts support it. The angry foreigner, or in Swedish, en arg blattetalare, make good use of facts and statistics. So check out his videos, link is down below. In Sweden, it was a common practice for the Statistics Bureau to include the nationality of the criminals in the crime statistics. But that's not the case, and haven't been for years, because they didn't see the point, because they knew that people with other nationalities than Sweden were heavily overrepresented in these statistics. And mentioning that people of other nationalities are heavy represented in violent crimes, murders, rapes, assaults, can get you indicted. Not possibly convicted, but indicted. And that actually happened to a Swedish police detective that decided enough was enough. This politically correct bullshit that has been going on in Sweden for so long, where you are not able to say the truth. That in his line of work that week, that he posted about, the people that was a majority on his table committing very violent crimes of different sorts was of non-Swedish nationalities. And what did this do? It kicked off a huge shitstorm in the media, calling this police officer a Nazi, a racist, and every label you can imagine under the sun. Even our Prime Minister, that should stay fucking neutral, decided to say that this police detective's description of his workload was wrong and false. How the fuck do our Prime Minister know what this police officer had for cases on his table? How the fuck can he call his what he saw right in front of him for false bullshit, false and wrong? Well, a short version is of what I said. Trump was right. Sweden is in a lot of shit because of the Swedish politics for the last 10-15 years have been piss poor in planning on what to do with all the immigrants and economical migrants and refugees that have come to our country. We are shutting down hospitals. We have not enough funding for hospitals, basic services, school, police, fire departments. It all gets cut back, and even aid programs in the conflict areas have been cut back. That could save a lot more, save about 1 million people. Instead, we focus on a couple of 100,000 people to give them housing, to skip any queue of housing, because in a lot of cities we try to get housing, you had to stand in a sort of queue, most of it, as most of the apartments, blocks and shit are owned by some private actors, but most are local council owned, and the queues can reach up to 20 years in some areas. But these refugees and economical migrants can cut the queue, cut the line, get in front, get free housing, get everything paid for it. I know I said this was gonna be the short version of what I said, but I know there's more I need to rant about, and that's all the heavy crimes that these terrible crimes a lot of migrants have been involved in, that they are not being punished for. There have been a lot of cases where these migrants are claiming to be youth, to be between 13 and 17, to avoid heavy punishment by the Swedish legal system. There's even been 45-year-old men claim to be 15, and they have gotten away with it. Almost. In most cases, they got caught because of stories they have been telling other on this migrant homes. That's a landing ground for them, about how some of them have been working, their Facebooks and shit. But come on, Sweden have decided not to try to age determine a lot of these migrants, because it's seen as racist. Yeah. Yeah, as you might understand, Sweden is absolutely fucked. And Trump is right. You should really watch out with the migrants, and you need to have a close eye on who the fuck you let into your country. Think it or not. And this is why this far-right party called Sweden Democrats have been gaining such a support in the last couple of years. Even though they have roots, Nazi roots, they were actually a hardcore Nazi party about 20 years ago, and they have been caught with the pants on a lot of occasions with Nazi-related songs, meetings, things like that. And yet, the Swedish Democrats are the third, I believe, might be the second largest party in Sweden because of political correctness. So, when this party in either next election or election of the other, next election is next year, so 2022, I believe it is. Yeah, it is, of course. If they get the majority of the votes, I will not be surprised. It's a shitstorm that the political left and center right have created because they refuse to deal with all the fucking problems. Well, this was all I had for now. Just needed to get that frustration out of me. My name is Consor. Take care.